So creation is finished. How does that feel? This is part 3 in the series that started with subscriber A. And so thank you, subscriber A, for reaching out and asking your question about what you were trying to manifest / align with. Because if you're getting to know me, and as I'm getting to know myself on this journey, I really dislike the word manifestation, because as I'm learning more about quantum physics, although Neville Goddard was my original inner stander where I could really click and make it understand, now that I overstand with quantum physics, creation is finished. And that understanding that there's timelines, and that so we're going to jump into this in a second. And this is going to be short and sweet, but when we understand that creation is finished, we've done our sats, that feeling at the end of the sats, that's when we know. That's when we know. And we're going to talk about regulating the nervous system. Again, short and sweet. So hello, I'm Neville Girl. I've been on a break for a little bit if you've been following me, because I've been downloading, channeling. I had Spirit put me on a timeout. Basically because sometimes action is non-action. And so Spirit had me in on non-action because it's still action. It's just on the spiritual level. So, welcome to my Neville Nation, my fellow Law of Assumption journey members, and my fellow time travelers / time jumpers, timeline jumpers, because that's what we're figuring out. We're discovering it's the timelines. And so we've been talking on this 3-part series about the timelines and aligning to it. So creation is finished. If you've been doing your sats, if you've been doing all those things that give you your permission slips, as Bashar would say, then how does that feel? Remember when I first started and I tried to describe some of the amazing things that I had manifested? It was like yummy, juicy, and delicious. And it's satisfying. It's peaceful. It's so comforting. There just aren't words. There really aren't words. Words are very limiting, and that is some of the challenge sometimes with trying to create an episode. But welcome to another episode. I'm glad you're here. Drop an emoji or like and subscribe if you have been enjoying my content, because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can go live and do more of my channeling, because I've realized that's a little bit more of my gift that I add to this channel and what we're trying to do. So nervous system and regulating it. I've been seeing it out in the manifestation community. Some say yes, it's the most important thing. Some say no, you don't need to. Can we have bad days? Absolutely. We can have bad days, but let me tell you what I've discovered. This is what my experience brings to the table for you all today to know. And I'm sure many of you have experienced this, but I'm just going to share this. When I go to the end, when I am working with Neville, and because I fell in love with him so much, because I finally understood this whole journey, and with quantum physics overstood it all, is that when you've gone to the end, when you're doing your state akin to sleep, when you are visualizing, and when you've really walked it out, the feeling that comes over you, that's the breakdown of this. To be honest, that is the breakdown. Because think about it. What does that feel like? It's so peaceful. Whatever you're imagining for yourself, whatever your dream timeline is, your dream timeline I'm certain has amazing, gorgeous, beautiful things, amazing, gorgeous, beautiful chunks of money and more free time and beautiful places and beautiful things, right? Your dream life. Would you feel all hyped up and all freaked out? No. You're going to feel peaceful. You may have excitement, but there's this peace that comes over you, this relaxation. There's this knowing. And I've come to realize now that I've seen out in YouTube world this about regulating the nervous system, it just like clicked with me. I was like, wow, yeah, that's like kind of it. Because I could be going through the 3D turmoil that is out there. The matrix is crazy. They've taught us an inverted understanding of manifestation where none of it is how it really works. So it's all meant to make us feel disempowered. And the truth of the matter is you, my friend, are more powerful than you could ever know. And that's what Neville brought to the table and why I fell so in love with him, is because we're empowered when we go to our sats, when we're imagining and creating the life of our dreams. What does that feel like? That's my question to you today, because that is the answer. Because I know now, especially, and I feel like I've come to understand my journey a little bit better, that no matter what has happened around me, things could be a little chaotic out in the 3D. But my timeline that I've aligned to on a regular basis is so rich, is so beautiful, is so relaxing, is so enjoying. And it has moments of excitement. That was a little baby burp. It's so full of joy that I come to realize that it's true. Like when I hear it, you gotta things have to pass the sniff test, friends, right? And think about it. So the sniff test is what does your dream timeline feel like? It's really peaceful in general. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people have timelines that are really chaotic in a most exciting way, and mine has a lot of excitement. I'm just saying that I've recognized that I am now able to walk in the 3D while the 4 and 5Ds in my third eye, and I'm living that version. I'm living that version because I know it to be realer and truer than the 3D. Remember, 3D is a liar. It's old information. It's as Neville would say, it's old echoes of our old imaginings. And I heard someone describe it, I wish I could remember who said it, but it was like, imagine in the sky, it's just like clouds passing through. That's all it is. It's clouds passing through. And we just got to walk it out a little while we're continuously aligning, because our vibration does need to match the alignment of our ideal timeline. That is true. So that is the thing. That is the censure on the things, because it's not what you want that you get, it's what you align with. It's the law of resonance. So I was delighted to find the law of assumption. It trumped the law of attraction, because law of attraction is like attracts like. I learned that, and as we all have, the hard way. So law of resonance, what are you resonating to? So in your ideal timeline, how do you feel? I'm repeating myself because I realized that the peace that I had is so profound, and it's so the feeling of delight that yes, my nervous system was regulated, very much so, to the point that things could be going pretty crazy, like unbelievably crazy sometimes. And I have this how they used to say, the peace that passes all understanding, because that is a regulated nervous system, my friends. So I don't know. There's the side, no, you don't need to regulate. Do I think that you can manifest? I've seen some articles of it, like in Neville groups on like Facebook, where they said they are able to manifest on timelines and crunches and things. It's probable. Anything's possible. Like, listen, we all manifest differently. I will never contest that. But all I know is that if you are spending your time in your ideal timeline, and how and you are so consistent and so familiar with how that feels, that feeling is the feeling you're going to carry through into me personally. I will just share. It's like the feeling of a regulated nervous system, so that it just doesn't matter what the 3D is trying to lay down. It's like, I mentioned before, the last 2 videos, this is part 3, and we're going to wrap it up here, I'm pretty sure, unless something else comes up. But the 3D is a liar. It's old information. Your new true reality, my friends, is your SATs, your dream life. If you've spent life there, it is realer than real. We have jumped timelines. This is not some imaginary daydreamy thing as the Matrix would want you to believe and feel. Okay? This is real stuff. It's a real place. It is a real version of you that's seeking you as much as you are seeking it. So I just want you to know today, I cast my vote from my understanding and my experience, because that's all I can bring to the table with you, and see if you resonate with it. So I ask you how you're feeling about it. But I just know, remember the first video, because part 2 was answer to subscriber A. Part 1, I gave you my mantras that I love using, and they're all peaceful. There's something that gives you like, I am source, I am God, source, spirit, and I am all that is. I am God, source, spirit. Helps you put in alignment that you are co-creating with God, because as Neville would say, you are co-creating with God, and the part of you that is God is your wonderful imagination. Then there is I accept, I deserve, and I allow. And then you can list what you accept and deserve and allow after that. I love to do that. Then there's I'm ready to be ready. I'm ready to be ready. And you can list what you want after that, and then plenty. And so this is repetitive, but what does that sound to you? Does that sound like chaos, or does that sound like calm, peace, regulated, that breath, that decompression, the freedom of that timeline, of that vibration, of that alignment? My friends, that's what we're talking about. That's why I'm here. Because I have mentioned before, I'm here not only to go out into the matrix and bring back information and discuss my experiments as I'm learning to master and overcome the matrix, but just share how I'm aligning and how I'm manifesting, and that's it. I've realized that my alignment on my timeline, and ask yourself that same question. Does it not feel a certain way? So I would have to cast my vote. I totally believe in the regulated nervous system, and it's not something special. I don't think you need to do. It's just to relax and relax into it, because creation is finished. Remember, I said, you're either all in, you either understand that there are all these different timelines of you on every topic, and you've been spending time in your SATs on one particular timeline that brings you peace, joy, full understanding and comprehension. It has all your things, all the things. We want all the things. We do. We want them. Not gonna lie, we do. But that's because those things want us too, and they've always existed. So they've been calling to us. So if creation is finished, then how peaceful and wonderful is that? It's I would agree. So I cast my vote, as I said earlier, that it is a regulated nervous system, because the person who has everything they want, unless they want chaos or whatever have you, I don't know, I'm not going to argue with someone else's manifestation with their desiring, but for myself, there's just a feeling that like it comes over joy. That's why I love the beautiful line about why am I forgetting? So, what the heck? So it's just when everything feels so beautiful. Isn't it wonderful? Everything is wonderful. Sorry, I had just a glitch there for a minute. But when you just like, and that's how I was feeling, even as I'm talking to you, friends, isn't it wonderful? Everything is wonderful. When you feel that feeling, how does it make you feel? Like, see, I was just feeling so calm that it was just taking over me. That's what I mean. So your dream life has just a piece of calm. And so I believe in our regulated nervous system. So that's how I'm going to agree with that. And so how do you know? And I guess this is the final exclamation at the end of this whole conversation. The other way you can know that you have really been spending your time in your preferred timeline is that you do feel those feelings. Like, we've talked about it, you hear about it on the internet, and if you have found me on YouTube and we are connecting here, there's a reason. We've both manifested, we both created each other, but you will be the person who knows that when you've spent that time, I'm just here to affirm and remind you, and just to like enlighten or highlight what you already are knowing for yourself. Creation is finished. Remember, Mary Morrissey said, you know, I think I mentioned it in my first video, it all worked out. So that feeling of that it all worked out, what does that feel like? It feels peaceful. It feels gorgeous. It feels just like you just almost want to sing, like you just almost want to dance. It feels beautiful. It has that energy. It has energy behind it. It's not, you know, totally sit down and eat bonbons. I mean, maybe, but I'm just saying. That's how you know. The exclamation at the end of this whole sentence for subscriber A, and for everybody who's watched this 3-part series, so thanks for following through, because there is always a reason I post what I post, saying is that if you have gone to the end, you will know, because you feel differently. The 3D can just be, you know, talking at you. It could be just things and situations. But if you feel that unwavering peace, if you know how that version of you in your 4 and 5D from your sats is so powerful, that's how you know that you've just verified creation is finished. It's finished. I need you to know that today, because I love you. We're family now. Like, I've been calling you friends for a while, but we're family. We're getting to know each other, and you don't know me, I don't know you, but we know each other. We're in a soul tribe. We're getting to know each other, and there's so much more to come, but I needed you to know creation is finished. That's why I did this series. And how you know that creation is finished, because you can see your nervous system is calmed, it's regulated, and it feels from the 4 and 5D. Take that with you. And don't you forget it. Because again, this whole manifestation journey, alignment journey, is more like it instead of manifesting, because I've really almost learned to hate that word. You're aligning. You are a powerful manifester. And I need you to know that today. And I need you to know that creation is finished. And when you know that, you feel it. So that's pretty much everything you need to know for today. I just need you to know. So remember, create something wonderful, create something magical, and you've got this. and I'm showing you how. Until the next one, bye.